Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Here's Paul. Yeah, he's back. He stayed. It's wonderful. So, we got to talk about Rooney, man. It's been rumbling on for the past few weeks that Rooney might be coming to America. Specifically to DC United, who is not having that great a season. I'll just let you know. He's not. DC's not really the team you want to go to right now in terms of performing well. So if he goes in there, he's big fish immediately, you know. And apparently, according to Paul Joyce, Everton reached an agreement with DC for Rooney. No transfer fee was listed on the story that I read. And it's all dependent on Rooney getting an agreement with DC. All right? So, what do you think of this?
I think it's a move that suits all parties. I mean, Wayne's come back. He's gave it his best. I have a ton of respect for him. I think every Evertonian, no matter what they feel about him as a player, what he's contributed this season, you can't argue the fact that he had a wonderful career. He deserves to have his career ended on his own terms and not kind of just have it fizzle out in an embarrassing fashion. I mean, I don't want, even if Wayne Rooney was willing to play for peanuts, I don't want Wayne Rooney sort of reduced to having to sit on the bench and playing every 5 games, getting 20 minutes here and there. I think Wayne Rooney, as a professional, as a player, deserves better than that sort of thing. I would really like Wayne Rooney to go over to America, wherever it is he's going to go, enjoy the sun, enjoy the fame over there, which I imagine he could go there and be a very big deal. I can imagine him arriving there and having all the photographers photograph him as he comes off the plane with his bags and with his wife and kids.
I hope that happens, Paul. I hope that happens because there's so many Americans who are clueless and would not recognize him on the street, and I'm not even kidding. It's ridiculous. Yes. So I hope he gets mobbed just to make him feel good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm so worried that people have no clue who he is. And he's going to D.C., yes. And it's not exactly the biggest football town.
He would go to D.C. and he would basically be a glorified club ambassador. Really, he's just going to be there. He's a poster boy. He's going to be there to sell shirts. He's going to be there to sign autographs, post pictures with kids. And I think, to be honest, at this point in his life, he's probably ready for that. Maybe in his head, he still feels that he can cut it in the Premier League. But when the evidence is there, and the evidence suggests he can't.
Yeah.
He's had his moments. He came back to Everton. He scored at Anfield in a memorable game. He's gave us that hat-trick against West Ham. He's hit a few really good goals, like the one against, I believe it was Arsenal. I think it was Koeman's last game, so he got a great goal against them. And that memorable header against Stoke on the opening day. I think Rooney has pretty much got what he wanted out of the move to Everton. He wanted closure. He wanted to feel loved by Evertonians again. And he wanted to feel like he was a player who was kind of a big deal. And he's had that.
Yeah.
But for one season, that's cool. That's fine. If that was a one-season deal, you've got what you wanted. I think it's time that we shake hands and leave now. It would have been great if you could lift a trophy, but sadly that's not going to happen in one season of a project. That is several years down the road, and you just don't have those years in you. So I think it would be best for all parties if he kind of shakes hands here, walks out with his head held high. The club wish him farewell. As I go back, if Wayne Rooney was willing to play for peanuts, I don't want Wayne Rooney reduced to just a bit part player like Yaya Toure, a kind of Manchester City. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I think he deserves more dignity than that. I don't want to see a player who we kind of feel he's only there because the manager kind of give him a charity contract. I was reading today that Yaya Toure was all set to leave Manchester City. Everyone at the club thought it was time for him to leave, and Guardiola kind of gave him a contract out of sympathy, sort of thing. And Rooney has a contract already, but I don't want Rooney to feel patronised type thing. I don't want Rooney to say, right, we're more than happy to keep you, but I want you to kind of just stay in the background and do what I want you to do. I think it would be better if Rooney just kind of says, well, if you can't give me what I want, then I'm going to puff my chest out and kind of go off on my own.
It's insulting to anyone who's competitive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Anyone who, because to be fair to him, he scored goals for us this season. He contributed this season. He did, which means he can contribute somewhere else. You know, he can. But we would be saving, what is it? Is it 6 million or 8 million on wages in 1 year?
Probably.
On just his wages. It's an absurd amount. It's a lot. I think I feel like he took less to come to Everton. So one kind of something like that. If he talked to Silva and Silva said, you know what, I see a place for you. I see you playing a lot this season.
Yes.
All right. The wages would be worth it. But he's spoken to Silva, and he does not fit Silva's MO in terms of what he wants from players at any of those positions. None of those central positions. None of the ones up front. It makes no sense. So they're being financially intelligent, but also just they're being respectful of his time and the squad.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
I just don't see what there is left to gain from Wayne Rooney's position by staying. Obviously, he wants the trophy, but the trophy's finishing in the Champions League. That's just not realistic at the time he has left as a force of footballer. Yeah, he's came back. He scored a hat-trick at Goodison Park. He scored against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. He recreated his wonder goal against Arsenal, literally. I think he's kind of... What else does he have to cross off by staying at Everton? So I think his kids have seen him don the Everton jersey, sort of thing. He's been man of the match at Goodison in front of his children. It kind of feels like all the dreams are complete. The only thing that is missing is the trophy, but the trophy was probably never realistic. Yeah. So I think from Wayne Rooney... He's done everything there is to do in England now. He's won every trophy there is to win at Manchester United. He's won back the respect of his boyhood club. He's scored in some games that he wanted to score in. He always said his dream was to score in a Merseyside derby. He's done that. Kind of, what else is there left to do in England? Not a lot, I don't think. So I think now is the time to go to America, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy being made into a big deal, which, as you said, I hope happens. Yeah. I really hope that they give him the A-list treatment, roll the red carpets out. I think him and his family kind of deserve that now, and I think he would enjoy the lifestyle over there, being away from paparazzi over here, where obviously, he can't walk down the road without the papers trying to, get a photo of him. Wayne Rooney sells newspapers, but not for sporting reasons, and I think he would enjoy the privacy a bit more in the US. If Wayne Rooney goes out and makes a fool of himself, it's not big news in the USA. It's front page news over here. I think him and his family would enjoy that.
It'll be very interesting. In terms of how, because DC is our capital, so majority of the paparazzi are for politics and politicians.
Yes, they won't.
And so it's not really the kind of place. It's not like New York or LA where people see it as, hey, this is the fun place to go. It's DC it is a different world than a lot of other major cities in America. It's going to be a strange. When I heard DC, he was going there, I was like. I was a little surprised, but it doesn't mean we can drive up and go watch him. And I get to say I've seen another Everton player play in person. I got to see Tim Howard play, and then I'd be able to say I saw him play. So that would be cool, but still, I think we overused him last season, and that really hindered his effectiveness down the stretch. I don't think he was intended to be used that much this past season. That was disappointing. Alexi Lalas, by the way, if you remember who that guy is, used to play for a U.S. national team. Red hair, red goatee. Doesn't have the goatee anymore. Yeah. He's a pundit over here now, and he says that he thinks Rooney is too slow for the MLS because it's got a lot of Central American, and South American players. They're very quick.
Yes.
However, I think he will be able to contribute despite all that. Yeah. How do you think he'll get on playing for DC this season?
Am I right in saying the vast majority of MLS pitches are a lot, the size of them is a lot bigger than they are for a lot of pitches in England?
I actually think they're smaller. I think the pitches here are smaller, especially New York City FC. NYCFC has a baseball field outfield, and it's tiny. It's the worst thing to play. I have no idea why they did that. It's so stupid. But I think they're smaller.
I think it depends on where Rooney wants to play. If Rooney plays deep, I think he might run into the same problems that Lampard and Gerrard and Pirlo as well run into, where it's just a traffic jam in midfield with all the energy. But I think if he plays up top against some defenders who, well, being disrespectful, there's a lot of them who are limited. I think he could enjoy a renaissance. Didier Drogba looked 25.
He did.
Playing for Montreal Impact.
Ibrahimovic has looked solid.
Ibrahimovic just looked solid, and Ibrahimovic, he's a strange one. Ibrahimovic, he looked like he was as good as ever last season, and then he played 3 games for Manchester United before they kind of just let him leave. So I'm not sure if Ibrahimovic could still cut it over here, but there's a lot of players who look done in the European leagues who went over there, strikers predominantly, who are enjoying renaissance. Robbie Keane enjoyed a great time playing up front in the traditional number 9. Because Robbie Keane wouldn't have got in many Premier League teams anymore. So players who you might think their goal scoring days are over, they don't have the legs anymore. I think in MLS, where the defenders are a bit more limited and the ball comes into the box a lot more, it's not kind of worked into the box through the centre, through a number 10. I think Wayne Rooney could enjoy a sort of poacher role, similar to how Michael Owen maybe was in his final years, a fox in the box, they're traditionally called. I think Rooney could have a bit of success with that, but if they just want to play him central midfield as a creator, like Everton have tried to do, maybe he would run into the same problems that Pirlo and Gerrard and Lampard did, where they might be in a slower league, but they just don't have the legs of a young man anymore.
So essentially, good luck, Wayne. Hope DC is kind to you. Hope it works out for you, man. There is a lot of cool stuff in DC, just to be fair. So I don't want to sit there and sell it as some nest of vipers, like a politics hotbed. There is some culture there, some really good stuff there.
I'll say now, just before we finish, what are the odds that at some point next season we will see Wayne Rooney in a photograph with Donald Trump in the White House or outside the White House?
Not even going to touch that, but that would be so funny. Just saying. All right.
I think that would happen.
It very well might. All right, so that is it for our Rooney segment. He's probably gone, people. Check out Paul's work on the Toffee Blues website. He's got an article on there right now about being patient with Selva, and we should be, so check it out. Additionally, check out the Toffee Blues website. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They're everywhere. Go to the website, read some stuff. It'd be great. I think that's it.
Thank you for listening.
Yes. Thanks, Paul. It's great to talk to you, man.
It was great to talk to you, man. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's great to have the voice behind the writing. So, Paul, thanks so much. I guess we're going to go ahead
No problem, man.
Roll. Everybody, thanks so much. Bye.
Bye-bye, man.
All right.
Have a lovely day.